Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, welcome to TFYLP, episode 554. We are live tonight, Wednesday, November 15th. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by Christian.
What up?
And Rob.
I don't know if I'd say I'm live. I'm very sleepy tonight, so
there
I'm technically present.
Be going late tonight.
1 a.m., baby.
There you go. And Phil.
What's going on?
There you go. We all have our professional dress on tonight. Rob, I don't know if you got the memo or not.
I did not. I am in my crappy lay-around shirt.
So, now is that your dress for work?
Correct. I work from home, so why would I ever leave my pajamas?
Yeah, there
Ask
you go.
a dumb question.
Rob,
some of us have to go into an office.
Some of us sound like suckers then.
I agree with that statement.
I enjoy social interaction.
Idiot. I get it through the internet. I feel like I hurt Phil's feelings. I said that he just was like,
No, I'm playing with the toy. I finally opened Red Frenzy and thinking around with him.
Woo.
Red Frenzy. That's a redundant.
The studio series makes sure to make
his
sure
name.
to label. Yeah,
Actually, it's Frenzy parentheses Red.
Red. Yeah,
It's his official name.
Alrighty then.
So there you go.
Oh, Zaldron's complimenting us for actually being on time tonight.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah,
We're on time
I made sure.
every time.
Yes.
We're
Every
like wizards.
single time.
Yes.
We're like wizards. We are never late. We
That's
arrive
true.
exactly when we mean to.
That is correct.
And we have
We have something.
you just
we don't know
froze.
what we have. It's a mystery.
I mean, you're back now, Phil, but you're just like, well, we...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever you said.
You have crazy facial hair.
I feel like mine's not that crazy. It's very,
Yours is the
very
least
classic.
I mean, I don't think Lucas's is either.
Lucas's is also not that crazy.
All right, it's just me and Rob then.
So, yeah, so we had a Transformers Tuesday stream, huh? Lots
did.
of
Yeah.
new things got revealed. So
No,
That's not what I heard.
What? Yeah, and luckily we had Rob for all the analysis of the reveals, right? Because obviously, you got your pulse on the Hasbro stuff.
I totally watched it.
Rob,
100%.
tell us your thoughts on all the mainline reveals they showed the other day.
I mean, it was an okay showing, a lot of us, you put 110%, you give it all you got to get it over the finish line, but, they didn't put enough points on the board. The other guy puts more points on the board, and that's just what it is, So, I think the coach is really going to have to struggle with that, so go team. Back to you,
Great
Phil.
analysis. Fantastic analysis, Rob. Loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I know the reference.
Is that the Key and Peele bit you're referencing?
It was just generic sports.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No.
it's Key and Peele bit, and also someone did it in real life.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't referencing anything in particular. At
Cool.
least not-
Well, you
not
circled
consciously.
back around to pop culture relevance. Good job.
Yay!
Hey, before we get
So-
too far, can I share one little tiny ouch real quick?
Oh, sure.
Because I bought a robot that I'm really proud of.
It looks like a
Oh,
card.
you were
for this.
showing this the other day.
Yeah.
Protects you from the constant self-doubt. For our audio listeners, he's holding up a tiny little, I don't know, PVC figure or something. It says a tiny robot that, this is the title, a tiny robot that protects you from the constant self-doubt and depressive thoughts that plague your long-term happiness and trick you into thinking you are unworthy of love. And then it has a bunch of clip art, and its name is Sandra. It's here to help. That's very silly.
Should have named her Rosanna.
Now you are no
right?
longer.
So this is a plant toy. I didn't know Obvious Plant made.
Oh wow, they
physical
actually
figures.
I thought they were
This
just.
is a physical Obvious Plant. Yes.
I thought they were just always photoshops. That's awesome.
No, they are real things. You can buy them occasionally. So I made sure to grab this one. There was a blue one called Jeremy about a couple months ago. So when I saw that Sandra came in stock, I was like, I'm getting one now because I missed the last one. But
Bye-bye, clown. No more frown.
Bye-bye, clown. No more frown. But in addition to protecting me from constant self-doubt and depressive thoughts, also protects from the undead, angry walrus, a toddler's attack. So
one of those
is getting a Sandra enough.
I did deal with some of those tonight, so I guess I need one.
There we go, Phil.
You know what? Yeah, Obvious Plant is great, and I'm glad that I was able to get in on that one.
Yeah,
because we all need a tiny robot that protects us from constant self-doubt and depressive thoughts that plague your long-term happiness and trick you into thinking you're unworthy of love. That's why we all do this thing that we do, right?
Yeah. I will say I'm very pleased that Obvious Plant has been around long enough that majority of folks know it's a meme joke sort of thing, because for a while there people would like show those like, oh my god, can you believe this is real? Like, it's not. You can't believe it's real because it's not real.
I mean,
there's
that
a
is
disclaimer
real.
about that.
Yeah, technically this is real now.
Yeah,
this product is not real. Nothing is real.
But the idea is like someone would find that on like a Target shelf, and it's like no.
I mean,
So,
your aunt
you,
on Facebook is still tricked by it, but
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of things my aunt on Facebook is tricked by. And boy, howdy, AI is not going to make her life easier.
So did you have something else for me?
Yeah, you said it was an ouch, so can we ask how much that thing ran you?
I think it was like $30, $25, something like that.
All right, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So not
Well,
actually an ouch, but I just wanted to share it because I thought it was really fun, and it's robot related.
It is. Indeed, it is both things.
There you go.
Right,
You're like,
I'm sorry,
suck
I
it,
derailed
Peter
this.
and
Please bring us back.
Right, exactly. Does Peter have these things?
Yeah, they're outside of his purview.
Yeah. So, Zaldron was saying that they're doing the London reveals and then also the game toys. So, I mean, technically, although, these Studio Series toys were not, were not revealed here. Like, they're the first time that we actually saw them in physical form, right? Because, like, I mean, I don't know, whatever. We saw pictures before, but, like, actually holding a physical object. Maybe?
The physical objects were in London.
Oh, I guess they were. But, like, did we see videos of it? Whatever.
I don't know about videos, but there were definitely stills of them.
They didn't talk about it, so it's fine. Yeah. I don't know.
And we had seen the Starscream B pack because Toys R Us, wherever, put it up.
Is this
and Prime has been sneaking around for the past couple of days. So Soundwave was really the only.
These are just like the new video game toys, right?
There's 4 new video game toys and about 7 Studio Series toys that were revealed.
All right, well there we go. So we can end the show.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah.
That Rob's tired. He needs to sleep.
Is it? And Phil is frozen, by the way. His audio, I don't think is, but.
No, this is the norm for us.
It's the norm for Phil. He's been doing that every time.
Phil is just a fantastic ventriloquist.
I do love though, like how it manages to get frozen on like a funny clip of you, Phil, like you're like looking down or whatever. It looks like you're falling asleep. So
that's Phil in real life. We wouldn't be able to tell a difference.
Not anymore.
Oh, did you get your sleepiness fixed?
It's pretty great.
But is it just me, or does that Bumblebee look like a hound to me? Like, it doesn't look like a Bumblebee. I don't know. To me, I don't know. It yelled hound when I saw it. It's like this kind of hulking thing.
I mean, I didn't think that the bot looked that hulky, and I think the car definitely did.
I think
Yeah,
the car
I mean, the vehicle,
looks like a beetle, but it's like, especially in the hood, you can see that it's there underneath the guns and the wheels and the whatever. It's definitely a beetle hood. It's like a beetle took a bunch of steroids and exploded.
So I missed the part of the live stream when they were talking about the Reactivate toys. But I did see on Pulse that they were marketing these as like toys for the apocalypse kind of thing. So it does, they, Bumblebee and Soundwave especially have this look to them of like alt modes that we've seen somewhat before, but made like Mad Max style.
Yeah, because they got the covered windows and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I feel like that they're really kind of leaning into this whole look. I mean, obviously, the video game toys felt reminiscent of the like Bumblebee movie toys we've gotten too. Like, it almost seems like it's kind of a similar universe. So, be curious if all the designs. I'm assuming you're all going to be similar kind of look.
Probably.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who has no idea what this video game is? Like, you can go to their website and it gives a trailer, but the trailer is just like a cinematic thing. What genre is the frickin' game? Is it pay to win trash? Is it?
Yes.
I think it's isn't it a
they
first
announced,
person shooter?
I have no idea, but they announced last month that it's free to play.
All right.
Some free to play games aren't pay to win trash, but it is by far the minority. Some make it like Path of Exile is not free to play trash. It is free to play though, but it's awesome. They exist, but they are the minority.
I'm confused though, because I mean, I suppose free to play can be a AAA game, but I don't
absolutely.
feel like that's the norm, right? Or am I?
Plenty of games are like Elder Scrolls Online is one of the most expensive games ever made, and that's fairly free to play. I think maybe there's a box price on the base game still. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. There's lots of free to play stuff out there. That's AAA. I mainly know about the MMO space, and then everything else is like mobile games. Like Blizzard just came out with a Warcraft Rumble, which is a little kind of mini RTS, but it's free to play, but it is 100% pay to win. Like it's literally
Win, but it's multiplayers that way.
Is it? Yeah, that one's a mobile. The Warcraft one is just a mobile game, first and foremost. Halo Infinite though that's a first person shooter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Deathmatch and whatever, capture the flag.
Yep, all those guys. I kind of thought Reactivate might have been a mobile game, but I don't have anything to back that up. I have no clue.
No, it's
what it is.
The Reactivate game is supposed to be like a PlayStation PC kind of game, like Xbox, whatever. Yeah.
Talib says a developer tweeted it would be a Destiny killer. One, no, it won't. And well, two, that at least gives us an idea of the genre then, if that's what it is. I haven't played Destiny, but I get the idea.
Destiny is going to be like ending pretty soon anyway, isn't it? Like, or within the next year.
It comes out on the same day they killed Destiny.
So by coincidence. Well, I don't know if Destiny 1 is still around. I know Destiny 2 is what people play these days, but I think it got a bunch of bad press recently. I didn't follow why people were mad about it because internet's always mad at video games.
When Bungie got acquired, they said that they weren't going to do any layoffs, and then they laid off the whole studio, basically.
Oh wow! So it wasn't something in game that you know of, at least. Yeah.
Not that I know about.
Yeah, this is really foreign language talk to me. I don't know much about video games these days.
Well, Reactivate will be some kind of game. It will be free to play. It will come out on some date and look like something. They released that cinematic trailer Rob was talking about just over a year ago.
Is it that old?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, and the thing that's weird is on the website they said that they're going to open up like a beta for it or whatever, like at the end of 2023. Well, like we're getting pretty close to the end of 2023, so you would think that like
I mean,
but I know like those types of games get delayed all the time, so it's like, oh, we delayed it 6 months, like
like
whatever.
when it comes to software, like the truth is, until like maybe once you're within 3 months, you actually have an idea that it's going to come out. Any estimate that's
Right.
longer than 3 months, especially the bigger the game, the more unknown it is. Like, and usually what just happens these days is people just, it's good enough, and we think the major bugs are later in the game, so just put it out there, and we'll get good reviews, and we'll get the money, and then they'll see all the bugs later, and we'll patch it as we go, because there's stakeholders and a board to appease or whatever the have you. IGN says it is an online action game coming to PC and consoles. So, like, is it I don't know, is it going to be like an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter like, War and Fall of Cybertron, or is it a first-person shooter? But it sounded like it's going to be one of those.
Yeah,
One of
I
those.
thought I read something or heard something that it was going to be a team-based game where you've got a squad of like 4 humans and 1 transformer, and every time you play, you can have the potential to be the 1 transformer in the squad. I don't know.
That sounds terrible.
That's
Sounds
what
not
I
good.
thought I heard. I could be absolutely wrong. Please
Yeah.
don't take my word for it.
And who knows how much could have changed anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
they've
it
been
definitely
remarkably
sounds
silent
like
about this.
like reading
Like if they
through
wanted to
the
promote toys yesterday, they would have been like, "Hey, here's new stuff about the game that we actually know now." Or at least
Right.
shown the same trailer. Like, "Hey, remember this thing?" They weren't. They're just like, "Hey, this game is coming out. It's post-apocalyptic, and we don't know about it either. And here's the toys."
Well, the trailer, I think you just see Bumblebee's hand, so it's not even like the trailer does anything to show any Transformers at all.
So is
So
this literally like they had a first person shooter and they're like throwing some Transformers in it?
Hell if I know.
This is weird. I'm not going to click it. I Googled about Transformers Reactivate, and I found a site that has a download button.
Nope.
Click it.
Yeah.
Click it. Click it. Click it.
And
Click it. Click it.
the thing is, like, it has a review in here, but for all I know, this description is AI generated, right? But like, it reads like somebody actually messed with it, because they're like pros. It's a 1 to 4 player co-op. Features new characters. They're like cons. It doesn't follow the Fall of Cybertron continuity. Like, interesting. I don't know what the hell this page is though. Like, I mean, this is a page I've seen come up in results before. They don't generally host viruses, but I don't know what the fuck they have here. I wanna have like a VM to install this thing on and see what the hell this is.
One way to find out, Rob.
Right.
There.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for Rob to be like, all right, and Rob's done for the show.
Rob's building a new computer. For some reason, he had to format his hard drive.
Oh, Rob infected us all. Guys, did you open that email Rob just sent us?
Rob just said he's got this crazy link to a good deal. I better click it.
If Rob says it must be true, click.
So yeah, I think it's kind of funny though that they have toys coming out for this game that, like, who knows when it's gonna come out, right? Like,
if ever.
So, yeah. Which I guess technically these are limited release, right? So like they're not actually being released in store shelves, right?
I don't know. They had sort of 2 release dates that they mentioned. They said that if you order it right away, you can get it before the end of the year, but then there'll be another shipment wave sometime in February 2024. So I have no idea what that means other than...
I can say that in Pulse, it's always been the pre-order for February. There wasn't an initial stock.
Okay.
So I think it's all just going to go, bloop, it's December, here it is.
Yeah. So,
all right. This description, sorry to come back to this, it has weird amounts of detail in here. It says the game also includes several human characters. they include Andrea Fairborn, who is the daughter of Marissa Fairborn, and Marcus Arving, a new character previously unknown in the Transformers. Like, that's oddly specific. And like, where the hell did that come from?
Click it.
Like,
Maybe
I
there is
really
a
wanna know
beta
what-
out there that has just been very,
It's
very under the
something
radar.
leaked. Like, only 400 people have ever downloaded it here. What is this? It is too detailed. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world ruled by the Legion, which is from Marvel.
Kiss players.
And humanity's turned to the Transformers, and like, you're a new reactivated Transformer, is what it's saying. So like, that's you, but you can play as many of your favorite other characters. The only ones in here that maybe aren't like your typical A-list characters would be like maybe Windblade and Slipstream. The rest are pretty A-list. But
Let us know how.
I gotta figure out how to say. I gotta put this on like a VM or something so that it won't.
Let us know how that plays, Rob. So
He's gonna do it.
just
The
put it on
madman.
your work computer.
He's gonna do
Sure, it'll
it.
be fine.
I only have one computer, and it is my work and personal computer that work paid for. But
there you go.
That was oddly specific, though.
that's like Andrea Fairborn, the daughter of. I mean, AI can generate anything, right? But that is so specific.
That's a deep cut too.
Oh, it doesn't exist, from what I can tell. They're like, it's not like they scraped it off the wiki. As far as I know, Andrea Fairborn doesn't exist in any other.
No, but Marissa Fairborn is a deep cut, even.
Oh yeah, I think it's enough that us nerds know the name, right? But like,
Right.
Joe Schmo isn't going to know it.
Yeah. This isn't like, oh yeah, Marissa Fairborn from Age of Extinction.
Yeah.
Weird.
So
Weird.
But Marissa Fairborn, Transformer G.I. Joe tie-in.
We do have that tie-in to talk about. Did they talk about that at all yesterday? The new upcoming G.I. Joe crossover? I don't think it had anything to do with Marissa, but
No. Are you talking about the leak list?
I didn't know where it came from. I just know
It's a leak list. Yeah, nothing yet.
Okay.
Well, like, hold
wait, on the
let's
leak
finish
list,
with
they
the
predicted a G.I. Joe crossover? That's weird.
Yeah, dude, I sent it to you. What?
I'm-
Did you
I'm-
not read it when I sent it to you?
No, I did. I'm just saying. Jeez.
He's trying to encourage discussion.
It's Cup and Sergeant Slaughter and something like it's a triple T or a triple J, some sort of horrifying looking vehicle for Cup. So, yay, more G.I. Joe bullshit.
I'm looking forward to it.
I hate you. Stop it. Make these fail so they learn their lesson.
I really enjoy that G.I. Joe vehicle. That was like at the forefront of when they started to go like sci-fi versus realistic vehicles. So yeah, I enjoy Sergeant Slaughter's Triple T. I sold it to Nick. I used to have the Creo version of it.
Like, on paper, I don't hate the idea of the crossovers, but the two that they've put out just look like absolute garbage. Just so terrible. It's 4 now. They had like a new
it
Transformer
will be
mold.
4. We got
I thought it was
Soundwave
3.
has been shown.
I just thought of the Bumblebee and Megatron ones that I just remember. They both just look like the hottest of garbage.
Yeah. Soundwave
But-
turns into a Dreadnought vehicle. Comes with
Also,
Sarchan
everything G.I. Joe looks like the hottest garbage I've ever seen.
So you enjoy Transformers issue number 2?
I know what's coming. I haven't read it yet.
I don't know. I'm excited for
Really,
it.
2 issues. 2 issues it took to do that.
Wasn't Anna a fan of the crossovers too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
How contrarian. I had a
Yeah.
feeling.
No,
I
see,
only-
that's what you tell Anna, hey, these are hot garbage. And she's like, sign
I'm already
me
in
up."
love.
love them.
Yeah.
They're weird and they're garbage. And she's like, oh, you just said my 2 favorite words in my toy language.
I mean, I like some weird garbage, but
Yeah.
those don't speak to me.
No,
if we're doing leakless stuff,
they're both
Dino King.
very they're both very centric on the G.I. Joe alt mode versus the robot mode. And so the robot mode suffers significantly for that.
What was that you're talking about, Christian?
Dino King.
Is that? I mean, haven't we been saying since we saw the first Dinobot from that? That's like, oh, this is a Dino
It's
King.
at least confirmed. I mean, we wouldn't know
Yeah.
that they're officially coming out like until it comes out. So
And I really do think it'll go up for order next month. That's the hot take. I got to be right about that one too.
I would like to be excited by it, but then I've seen the Dinobot toys, and they just look terrible. They look so bad, and then the combined mode looks so bad. And I know like they're core class combiners or something, right? Like they're the little dudes, that works for Dino King and Monstructor. Like I remember once I finally got Monstructor, I was like, or saw it for the first time, I was like, oh, it's like
I remember that.
Yeah.
like
I remember that feeling.
like that's not what I didn't think like, oh, he's gonna be Fort Max or anything, but I was not expecting that.
He makes a Devastator toy look like an NBA player.
Yeah, Devastator's like a Titan compared to him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I'll say once I get the colors in it, right? Like I'm sure they're not going to do anything cool like a selects release with the shells or something. That might spice it up a notch.
No, somebody else have to do the shells. I'd like to see DNA tackle it. I think that'd be really fun.
I just get the feeling no one's going to do the shells.
Yeah, I kind of get that feeling too.
Bet.
It's one of those prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
Well, I mean, Fans Project did the shells for their Dino King, and right, yeah, and that's the thing. They didn't sell well. I get it. These will be cheaper. You don't have to develop the inner toy. You just have to make the shell. But I don't know. It's a road that other people have been down before, and it was a rough trodden road.
Yeah, especially like Dino King itself is going to be pretty cheap because it's freaking core class figures, right? And then you try to tell people, okay,
$60 ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now say, okay, spend $30 each on a shell because it's some little third party thing. Like, I know obviously some people would, but I don't know if does DNA have the appetite for that, or Dr. Wu, or whoever makes smaller companion bits.
I feel like most of the DNA kits are as expensive as the underlying toys, so.
It's true. That is not uncommon, is it?
Yeah, but this is going to be a heck of a lot more plastic than, or whatever they're going to use, than the underlying toy.
Unless they make them rubber.
Yeah, that's like I said. Whatever they're going to use. I'm kind of surprised that they're doing Dino King versus Monstructor. I mean, I'm assuming that we'll get Monstructor at some point, but I was a little bit taken aback by that just because Monstructor being the U.S. release, you'd think it'd have more of an audience than Dino King.
But Dino King is coming out in December to support Deathsaurus.
So you think it'll actually be in hand in December, or just up for pre-order in December?
I'm really sure that it'll be up for pre-order December. I'm not ruling it out that it will come in December, just like Galaxy Shuttle did last year. Because remember how that was just like, it's here.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking that that'll be the same.
And that was a weird Walmart exclusive that just like, it's odd that you sort of had this tie-in between the Velocitron subline, a Walmart exclusive, and somewhat synced up with the HasLab.
Yeah, that was weird. It was really weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You want to do some other league stuff? I've got.
Well, can we finish? Let's finish the actual reveals.
Sure.
Talk about those because so with the Reactivate toys, I don't know what scale they're supposed to be. They're priced at like
Starscream and Optimus
$62.99.
are Voyagers. Bumblebee and Soundwave are Deluxes.
But they're like big looking deluxes in the picture. Like
in the picture, they have elongated and enlarged Bumblebee and Soundwave to be the same height as Starscream and Prime. In practice, that's not true.
That's good to hear, because in the pictures, Bumblebee and Soundwave especially looks so disproportionate. It's like,
I don't know why they did that, but they did.
Why did
but
they
if you
do
look at
weird.
the actual reveal, where they have the turnaround stuff, they're appropriately sized. I mean, Bumblebee's taller than like normally Bumblebee is, but he's deluxe size.
That's a horrible choice for what they put on the website then, because they make those toys look bad on the website.
Yep. Soundwave is lanky. That's just his design, I guess. But not the render. The render of him looks fine. So I don't know what's up with the toy. But yeah, they are a little better than what the pictures make them out to be.
So when we first saw the Bumblebee and Starscream, there was a lot of like, oh, what's up with that weird cell shading look, or is it Space Mud 2.0? And then like, we're not getting that with Optimus and Soundwave, correct? They don't have any of that, right? Okay. So that's just kind of something I find amusing, that Hasbro's like, oh yeah, people don't like this black crap. Let's scrap it for the next ones.
Starscream's got an asymmetrical paint scheme, which is weird. And they were like, this is cool. We don't get to do this normally. It's like, maybe you don't do that normally because it looks bad.
I don't know. I kind of enjoy asymmetrical things here and there.
I do too, but not like this. This is just like, one side has some random black and the other side doesn't. It's like,
it does not look good.
Yeah. It's one of those things that we were talking, what was it, last week, about the Takara now doing their own paint jobs. Like, these toys might look 100 times better with like a nicer paint scheme from Takara a year later on. I very much feel like for these toys, I will buy them, especially the Optimus. I think looks really good, but I will keep them in package until I'm certain there's not going to be a better paint job coming out down the road.
Yeah, but how long would you wait though? Like, it seems like if they, I mean, I don't know. Like, if Takara's doing it, they could do it 2 years later.
My pile of my box mountain of toys that I have yet to open, several years deep. So I still got MP Hound in there. Okay. So I can wait a little bit.
Fair enough.
I'm scared of to transform MP Hound. No.
So I think it's interesting that they decided to do these as 2-packs instead of just selling them individually. And I feel like that there was a fair amount of negative reaction to that by the fans. So there's a lot of people that are like, oh, the Optimus looks cool, like, but I don't really want the Soundwave. Like, oh, the whatever, Bumblebee looks cool, but I don't like this Starscream, or vice versa. It seems like there's a lot of people that are gonna want to offload one figure or the other, or maybe they keep it just to say screw it. But it seems like it's an interesting choice.
It's weird. I think it's odd that new molds, new line or whatever, and just immediately 2-packs.
I might have gone in on Optimus or Bumblebee if they hadn't been in 2-packs. As is,
it would make more sense if the gameplay was like a versus style thing. Sure. Sort of like Fall of Cybertron, and maybe it is, but from what we've heard of the game, that's not the format. So it's again, it doesn't make as much sense.
What I said was, these look pretty okay, except Starscream, I think, but I don't need more Optimus B, Starscream, and Soundwave, especially without any connection to this media.
Right.
So I'm passing.
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know. I don't really need another one. I mean, shoot, we just got an Optimus and a Bumblebee, Gamer Edition Studio Series, right? So it's like, do you really need another one? I mean, I realize it's a different design. But
well, you did, but a lot of people are hunting for that Prime, like it's their, like their child went missing and they need to find it.
And Prime's pretty good. The other one, I feel like most of the other War for Cybertron toys were not that great, but
yeah, that's been the consensus. There was someone who posted that their finding of Fall of Cybertron Optimus was their Grail piece. That person has a skewed perspective on life. I'm glad that they're glad they got the toy they wanted, but man, you gotta reframe your priorities.
We haven't had Grail talk in a while.
Let's say go watch our episode on Grails from 3 years ago, 4 years ago, or something. But
yeah,
Some people this year.
Some people think, oh, it's a toy that I just found about that I want. It's now a Grail. Calm it down there, buddy. You can get it at Walmart.
I have decided upon an honest to God Grail that I think has an actual Grail status on multiple fronts for Transformers.
All right.
A Dome Zero, an actual Dome Zero car. Or Dome Zero, I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It is yes, it's the car that Hot Rod's alt mode was based on. So
have fun with that.
Well, I'm not saying I would ever get it, but again, that's what makes it a Grail thing. Would be
not with that attitude. I'm just going to argue with you either way you go with this.
What are you, my wife?
I can be, big boy.
Oh, let's move to Utah.
Immediately get kicked out.
Yeah. Wait,
by the way,
so
your video's been frozen for a long time.
Oh, God bless it. Like, you're cool with multiple spouses as long as they're multiple women?
Correct.
Fun.
I said wives, not girlfriends.
Yeah.
It's a Simpsons quote.
Yeah, I could tell from the tone of voice. Is that the second one tonight? After my eyes, I got was nothing.
Yeah. The audience didn't get to partake in that one, though.
No.
So what else we got?
So we had a bunch of other What Studio Series reveals too from London. So we had another wonderful looking Starscream, right?
Which one's the? Oh God, yeah. The again another Fall of Cybertron toy that just is underwhelming.
War for Cybertron.
So you're just whelmed.
The cockpit on that one is a really big problem. They made it huge and one color for no reason. I've seen some photo edits of it where it's got cockpit. What do you call them? The things that hold the window. They're not window sills on a jet, but you know what I'm talking about? The things that hold the pieces of glass on a cockpit. That have that across so it breaks up that orange color, and it does look a little bit better. I'm sure Reaper labels can help us out there, but they shouldn't have to. But they are really carrying these Gamer Girl figures.
What did you call it?
Gamer Girl Edition?
Gamer Girl Edition? Okay.
Gamer Girl Optimus Prime. Yeah.
I know the term Gamer Girl, I just didn't associate it with these figures, so okay. Yeah, that Starscream is hot trash. The fact that you have a toy that came out 10 years ago that's a deluxe scale versus the Voyager scale, and everyone's like, yeah, it's better. That shouldn't be the case.
At least the new one does not have gorilla arms, and I do appreciate that.
Yeah, and the guns that came with those Seekers were
not good.
Way oversized.
Based on the thing, but, whatever.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it stinks when no one's comparing the Planet X toy to the new one, because obviously the Planet X toy blows it out of the water, but that's third party. It's supposed to. They're just comparing the 10-year-old Deluxe to the new Voyager, and it's yeah, I'll stay with my Deluxe.
I would hope after 10 years and a size upgrade that it would be better.
I'm hoping it's one of those that's just better in hand, but I think I'm going to do the fill method and wait for a sell on that one.
Yeah. Wait for people to have it in hand.
It looked better on the stream, I feel like, compared to the pictures we've seen. But yeah, it definitely still agree with Phil that the old one seems like it's better.
And I think the old one sort of skewed our perception of what the alt mode is supposed to look like, because if you look at the actual renders of the alt mode, it is more elongated, has shorter wings than what the Deluxe had. The Deluxe made it much more like a equilateral triangle when it's supposed to be more like an isosceles triangle. And that's what the new version does. Isosceles, yeah, look at that. Mr. Herring, freshman year geometry.
Shout out to Mr. Herring.
Yeah, he had one of the things I distinctly remember about his classroom is he had pi all around as like the border for the top of his classroom. So it started with 3.14 and just kept going all the way around to the door of the classroom. So that was
What a
fun.
nerd.
I know. I mean, what math teacher isn't a nerd? But anyways, yeah. It's again, I've got my deluxe, I've got my Planet X. I'm good.
Well, his Voyager friend is Scrap Heap.
Yes.
It looks pretty good. They've done a little bit more remolding on that. Another new head, another new bike front portion, lots of yellow. Looks like a cool dude, a rad dude, as some would say.
You still have the issue where the robot is disproportionate to the bike mode. So you kind of got to use one of the legacy Junkions to make it look good for a robot riding a motorcycle. But yeah, overall, it's a great looking toy.
Yep. They can keep making more of those, and I will keep purchasing them because they're neat.
Yeah, and
I also
way less
finally-
expensive.
Finally learned what my Junkion names actually are because I've been misattributing them for a little bit now. So the one that's coming out now is Scrap Heap. That is his name. The previous one that came out was Junk Heap. That is not his name. It's actually Junkyard. Junkyard, Scrap Heap. Also Rubbish somewhere along in there, but I've got them straight now. Peter, if you're watching, I know what I'm talking about now.
Somewhere, wherever he is, he just smiled a little. He's not sure why yet, but he felt something made him happy.
Peter's always watching and always judging.
One day I'm gonna get just the right thing wrong, and he's gonna just arrive at my house and smite me.
Peter, what are you doing here? I came here to
I'm
smite you.
using the Destron title even in a discount capacity, and he'll just go wham, and I'll be dead. And I'll deserve it. I will.
Yeah.
I mean, there can be only one.
Also,
right?
we were visiting my mother up north, and you were on our way back home.
What?
What?
It's like Peter, why are you here? It's like I came here to smite you.
Oh.
But also, we were visiting my mother up north, and you were sort of on the way back home.
Yes.
Sorry, fam. I need to take a little detour. Gotta do some smiting.
Yeah. After meeting
Okay,
Peter's
Dad.
family, I'm pretty sure they'd be very on board for that.
They'd be down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You gotta smite someone? Well, why didn't you say something earlier? Of course. We making this, special trip just for smiting.
I accept my fate. that's
So
Voyagers.
I guess in addition to that, we also got like a core class dude, right? What was
Yeah,
it?
it's Mohawk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Kermit
like
the Frog as a freaking
Kermit the Frog
Decepticon.
crackhead motorcycle from the last night.
Yeah.
Great. No, it is nice that
No.
they're actually doing stuff from the Bay films because there's only 2 of those in the whole thing for next year, which is not great.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that, like, because they haven't really, like, featured the Bay Film Studio Series, right? Like, just the '86 guys. So that's
And
A lot of
Mhm.
A6, a lot of
games.
Rise of the Bests, naturally. Yeah, had a lot of Bay stuff last year or this year. I'm already next year.
Am I wrong in remembering that Mohawk had a different motorcycle version for his alt mode? Yeah, make me look this shit up.
Non-committal shrugs from the cast.
Because the toy alt mode is very Harley Davidson-esque, and I do not think that was what his alt mode was in the renders that they showed. All right. I'm probably frozen anyway, so who cares if I'm staring at my phone while I'm on this?
You're actually not for once.
it won't freeze until you're like, all right, I got the answer.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did we get? Did we get another Rumble Frenzy, whatever?
Yeah, the B movie concept series Rumble.
Actually,
With no
looked kind of
face.
neat. Yeah.
Got no face. I guess he doesn't have a mouth.
Okay.
He doesn't have eyes.
Yeah, I guess this was the alt mode for the movie, so it's sort of like this weird, not Harley bike, but some sort of like weird like street bike looking thing. That is not. I don't know. I guess the toy kind of looks like that. Not really, but whatever. It's a little dinky core class toy, so it's like they're throwing the Phantom of that stuff a bone. And it's an unappetizing bone at that.
Yes. But he does come with a shiv, so
Yeah.
yay. Yeah, shiv.
The Bumblebee movie concept art stuff, I'm sort of, I don't know, on the fence with. I mean, the execution of Rumble is not good. The Megatron I'm intrigued by, though. The Megatron I kind of think I might pick up.
Christian has been vehemently opposed to that Megatron. I feel like Anna keeps bringing it up and saying, "What do you think, Christian?" And you're like,
No,
"Still hot
I never like
garbage."
It looks
Still
awful.
don't like it.
It finally makes me understand the Chewed Caramel's critique of early Beast Wars, because that's what this looks like to me.
Chewed Caramel? What is that a reference to?
The face sculpts in particular of early Beast Wars.
Okay.
I think this whole Megatron toy looks like Chewed Caramels, but hey,
I like
you
how
like it, man. Get it.
I like how in robot mode, it's a bunch of non-distinct gray and silver jagged pieces shoved together, and then in alt mode, it's a bunch of non-distinct gray and silver pieces shoved together.
For $55, it's a lot of gray pieces.
It'll get cheaper than that.
You know, you can just get some aluminum foil out of your kitchen and
Look at that.
crumple it up and make a robot, and then just crumple it up into a rectangle, and boom, got the same thing. Put a spoon on it for the turret. Like, you're set, man. And you saved yourself $50-$60.
I think Anna finally articulated to me why I don't like that one and Rumble, really any of the B movie non-real vehicle designs. It's like they have live action Bay series heads on bodies that sort of throw back to G1 but aren't really anything, and that juxtaposition is what really throws me off. I haven't liked any of the B movie stuff. I don't like these either. And I think it's just a me thing. It's probably not just a me thing, but now I know what the me thing is.
No, I very much see where you're coming from. Like Ratchet, I think suffers from that significantly.
Yes.
I don't.
That toy has fantastic colors. I should like it because I'm like a color guy. But Anna's got me paying more attention to these head sculpts now because that's what she pays attention to. And I talk to her all the time, and it's just like, oh yeah, this matters, and it doesn't go together for me.
I think that's one of the reasons why I gravitate more towards Javelin versus RC.
Yes,
that mold.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because that's a fun toy.
But
really I hated RC when she arrived. I was like, I got to get this out of my house immediately.
I still like the RC a lot, but Javelin is more entertaining. Yeah.
Javelin real good.
The one thing I didn't enjoy how they brought up during the live stream was like, oh, with Megatron we wanted to homage this like really, really cool, never used Transformers animated Megatron design where he was a jet and a tank. And it's like, oh, that those designs were unbelievably awesome. And it's just like there's this, I don't know if FOMO is the right word, I don't think so, but just the idea of like, well, great, now you make me actually want something that probably will never exist, and you're giving me this like homage to it that doesn't come anywhere close to that.
We call that rage.
That's a little.
We call that blinding, searing rage.
That's getting more extreme, and I don't need blinding, searing rage over toys.
Fine, be reasonable about it.
Yeah,
that's not what we do here.
Deluxes, we had Scorponok from Rise of the Bests.
Oh yeah,
which looks odd. And Wheeljack from Riders the Best, which I think looks really great.
Wheeljack looks neat. I don't know that it has anything to do with what I would consider Wheeljack. It feels just like a random name reuse.
I like that they called him Pablo, because that's what the fan has been calling him for a while.
Scorponok's face looks really terrible.
Awful.
So, I mean, it's derpy as hell. I like the purple on it. I think the colors look good for it. But
they pulled in this thing. They were like, we got the concept art in 3 different colors, and one of them was Double Punch, and one of them was Scorponok, one of them was Sandstorm. It's like, just pulling in name uses, man. Cut it out.
Yeah.
We're back to the way
to repaint Double Punch. Give that to me.
Yeah.
Do that.
It's funny you said that. I was about to say we're back to Unicron trilogy rules of names. Like, what names do we need to re-up trademarks on? Okay, use those. It has nothing to do with anything.
I did really like the Scorpion mode. I don't think I'd really noticed that so much in the renders. Like, seeing it in hand, they look really, really nice. I don't think I'll ever buy it. I shouldn't say that. To me, that's a toy that, like, I could see 2 years from now me seeing someone at, like, Dairy Con selling it for $10, and I pick it up to give to one of my kids.
Or what if it's in a Walmart bundle with another deluxe for $25?
There you go. Yeah. Maybe then I'll finally buy Breakdown.
What Breakdown?
Not Breakdown. Crankcase.
Oh.
Sorry.
You should.
Yeah, I probably will if I stumble upon that 2-pack.
It's in stock on Walmart.com right now.
I'm really hoping I can stumble upon Crankcase at Ross.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the reveals, Lucas. I think that's it. I think we got them all.
Yeah.
Like, we had, not in the cast chat, but like in another Facebook group where a bunch of us are members, like, we were all going through like what our predictions would be. Like, none of us got any of this shit right.
Yeah.
I think we all forgot that Reactivate was a thing, or was going to exist at some point. And like, my prediction was like, Studio Series Swoop. And it's like a bunch of people like, oh, that'd be awesome. I can't wait to see that. And like, we know it's coming, but
sure.
Yeah.
I feel like the reveals always have a way to disappoint us, but they did say they're having another live stream so that they could pick their favorite Transformers of the year. So I guess.
Oh, I missed that part. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the end.
And I don't know if you guys have been on Instagram in the past, 6 hours or so, but BMAC and Mark, at least, I don't know about the others, have put up a survey option. What generations figure from Titan's Return and onward would you like to see reissued?
Huh. That's interesting.
Like
it's an open form. They're not choosing, but like, I saw some good options because I don't think there's anything. So I was looking through the comments. People were like, the Battle Chargers, Misfire was on there. The Jump Starters were on there.
Yeah, Slugslinger.
So like, Slugslinger, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely some ones that people might be looking for. I'm just saying myself personally.
Someone said Barricade the Earthrise mold without using punch counter punch. I was like, okay, that probably makes sense.
Yeah, the Jump Starters. Are those worth something on the aftermarket?
Yeah.
Like, they're so good.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. Like, when those came out, everybody's like, holy crap, why are Jump Starters so good?
Yeah, they're real good. I think the Battle Chargers would make sense though, because those came and went pretty quickly, so that would put them in a 2-pack and like, hey, it's Battle Chargers. I saw someone asking for clones because they're like, they didn't release the clones and you couldn't get them. I was like, you're wrong.
Yeah, they definitely exist.
Yeah, they released them twice.
They re-released them as Target packs.
And they did both Target. The Autobots were at Amazon.
Oh yeah.
I think you could still get the Amazon ones for clearance prices. At least you could until this year earlier.
Yeah.
They did not sell well. No.
Right.
But some requests for like Trailbreaker and Sunstreaker. I think those guys make sense. Yeah. Would you like to see any Generations figure? We're not the audience for this. We've been getting everything in Rob.
If we wanted it, we got.
So like,
yeah.
I mean, I have almost everything we talked about here. I have, like, nice. Titans Return stuff. I really liked Titans Return. That's probably like the last really good line that I really liked from Hasbro for whatever reason. You know, it tickled my fancy, and I still have a lot of that stuff because all these characters are mentioning, we don't have any other versions of. There's not third-party versions of them, or if they are, they're like so left field.
That reminded me, Nautica was mentioned several times.
Why?
I mean, it's the only one there is. I don't want that one to be reissued, but it's the only one there is.
Like, I would like. I mean, I have that figure as well because it's the only Nautica, but you're fine with that,
a new one,
right?
Yeah,
like do a real one. Do one like you did G-Axis.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what you need to do.
That'd be great.
So presumably there's some sort of reissue happening. Again, we saw Fort Max is getting a reissue, so I guess they're
Mr. Clarence himself.
Oh, it's going like crazy on the aftermarket though. Is it like all the time?
Oh, is it finally rebounded?
Yeah,
not as much as Metroplex has, but
and like the G2 figures too, like those G2 combiners that were all like piling up at Ross.
TJ Maxx, yeah.
I think just the Superior one, or sorry, the Bruticus one of that will probably start not being worth so much anymore. Just because I assume we're going to get a new Minosaur. God damn it, a new Minosaur from the new mold that's out. I mean, like I know we got
2 pieces of it so far.
Like I'm expecting we'll get the rest, and I was
they're never going to release the others. They're not going to do it. They're just not. Why would they? They released 2. The other 3, no, they're out of here.
It would surprise me if they did.
It's not that Hasbro hasn't,
but I think they will.
Like that before.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah, I want them to. If they reissued a Grand Max, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
And
but like a lot of people are talking about how discounted Black Xeric is on like Best Buy right now for like $107. So like they've kind of done that with the Titan. I get it, give it time, but like Hasbro doesn't give a crap about the give it time. Hasbro gives a crap, and their retailers give a crap about what are we able to sell it for. So the fact that you did this sort of obscure repaint of the Titan and it's gotten clearance to this level, that doesn't help the case for doing a Grand Max repaint.
I still think a mini HasLab would be good for that sort of thing.
You say that, but then also we were just talking Fort Max was clearanced heavily, and now they're reissuing it. You know, so who knows?
But Fort
I don't know
Max
how that works.
Fort Max is a different level of character in that he is actually he's a G1 toy.
It's much more regular
toy. Yeah, much more than a Japanese.
I can't wait until they
Scorponok.
Redo G1 Metroplex to make him fit with the aesthetics of literally every other Titan, and you start seeing all these like fucking $700 Metroplexes on eBay. You know, for much less than that. I sold mine a couple of years back for because the aesthetics are just so off. You know, good toy, but I mean, I sold it for like $300 or $350, and even then, I was just like, man, what a ripoff. So, you know, paying that much for it, and now it's like, oh, double that. It's because it's still the best option, but
after a discussion tonight, I'm like, shoot, I should sell my Nautica because my affinity for like needing a complete Lost Light crew is like dwindled over the years. So it's like, why do I have this?
Especially that one that's just not good.
No.
Well, there's a fair amount of figures like that, like Green Light, of course, we always bring up too. It's like, why do I still have my Green
all
Light?
of those Fembots?
Yeah, all of those.
Yeah. Holy crap! The Nautica prices, girl. I think you about to go on eBay. There's 3 listed. 145, 180, 260 for a deluxe toy that, I mean, it's a fine enough toy on its own, but is it Nautica? No, it's just, you know, share some colors
with hover wings.
Yeah, for what it most realistically sells, it looks like 120 to 140.
Even that's more than the box set was.
Yeah, that's it's Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Those were fun box sets, man. I like those were fun because you could. Like,
I bought that one and kept a lot of it.
Yeah, no, but even still, even if you didn't keep a lot of it, it's like I think I kept like 2 or 3 out of them, and was still just able to, you know, do very well with just piecing off like Tidal Wave and not Six Shot.
Quick Switch.
Quick switch. Thank you. Yeah.
Hell, I may still have that whole set because I know I have quick shit. Quick shit. Quick switch.
Flip if I ever heard one.
Yeah, I still have that one, Nautica. I still have Tidal Wave and Laser Prime. Or G2
And
Prime, whatever it was.
Pound
Well, there was two
pounce,
box sets.
pounce.
So
Oh, was one
Yeah.
of them? Or was both of them in
Fastlane.
this?
There's two box sets, Pounce and Fastlane, in opposite sets.
right.
Gotcha.
And then you have
Metal
the
Hawk and
Walgreens
Nautica,
two-pack.
Laser Prime and Tidal Wave, Quick Switch and Jinrai.
That's still my favorite Metal
However,
Hawk
that-
figure.
Divide those. That's how they work.
Yeah, I do like that one too.
Yeah.
I don't remember
It's
it.
just it's a Slugslinger repaint with a new head.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which again, I think speaks to how awesome that Slugslinger toy is.
Trigger happy.
Trigger happy. I'm sorry. Thank you. I've been trying to remember the name of the third TFcon Target Master, and that's why I couldn't remember it. So yeah,
That's his
Trigger
name.
So
Like,
y'all
to
like that
me-
one better than the Legacy one? That's like a dedicated mold and everything.
but it's not. It's a Cyclonus repaint
Cyclonus.
or remold. It's a heavy.
No, I don't like it better.
I kind of do. I don't know. Like the other one, I
Wait,
just like the
better.
way it is.
Sorry, got lost in pronouns. Which one do you
I
like?
like
better?
Legacy better.
Okay. And you're saying you kind of like the Titans Return one better,
I
Lucas?
kind of like the Titans Return one a little bit better. Yeah. Of course, I don't know. I've got it in storage. Maybe I pull it out and be like, no, you're right.
I don't like
Legacy's
the-
better.
The dingy brown on the Titans Return one, like instead of the more brighter yellow. Like I know they're both going for a shade of gold, right?
Yeah. I think both of them missed the mark, but I don't know. The Titans Return version is. Yeah, I don't
nothing
know.
beats the club one though, or the BotCon one. With that head, yo. Sometimes you just gotta shoot for the moon, and then you get it.
Can
You
we
surpass
pause for a
expectations. moment?
Who is the third party company that did the recent Drift triple changer, the Age of Extinction Drift triple changer? Is that Metagate? Is that the name of the
Yeah.
company?
Metagate.
And so they've got a white repaint of that's like more akin to the Drift, like white Drift paint job. But he's got like a human face, and it's just so derpy looking. It's a great looking toy, and then he's got like a armored up head, and it took me a couple times to look at it to realize, oh no, those are human eyes with a mask over the face, the main part of the face, but human eyes in there. And then you can take off the faceplate, and it's just a derp looking like Metal Hawk, BotCon Metal Hawk almost level face of a human. And it just killed that toy for me in terms of any kind of desire or want for it.
This is the white drift.
Yes.
I see him with like, the kind of samurai black mask thing. I don't see a
Yeah.
picture with him without it.
There was, I forget which Transformers website the other day had like a whole roll of pictures, and like I scrolled down like cool. Like what the hell? So
That sounds wonderful.
yeah.
Well, just don't take that off. Just leave his mask on. Boom.
If I get that toy, I will get the Age of Extinction version, because that is
You would know.
that Age of Extinction Drift has had a lot better toys than it deserves.
Oh my God, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you get me the old man golf laugh.
Thank you for validating my reaction.
That is so. He looks like he was really pale, so he started, using the suntan lotion, like the fake tan stuff all over his face, and then he got
the same
cross-eyed
skin tone as
and
Donald
lost his
Trump.
eyebrows. Like, I'll post this in our chat for y'all.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say send it to.
And then the eyes are like G1 Pretender level dead eye kind of stare at you.
Oh, horrible.
Right.
What is this? Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not the only person that has the same reaction.
I dropped the link for that in our YouTube chat. If you're on YouTube, to the site where I found it. Scroll down. It's like the last.
Wow. There
It's
you
so
go. Well, that's a thing.
Like,
have
honestly, what
sleep
that
at
face
night.
reminds me of is like my 9-year-old son trying to draw a human face from memory.
Don't insult your kids like that.
I probably shouldn't.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yes.
Y'all want some leaks?
Oh,
Are we
sure.
talking more
Yeah.
leaks?
Back to the leaks.
Is this? Are we getting back to it, or is this off the press?
It's like 3 days old. We talked about 2 of them
Oh.
from this list already this episode.
Okay, never
Yeah,
mind. I thought you were saying
Batman
like,
and-
just something just leaked, but yeah,
No.
lay it on us.
So we talked about the crossover cup and triple T with Sergeant Slaughter and whatever Leatherneck is.
Yeah.
We talked about Dino King. In addition to those 2, we have. Do you remember the Walmart Star Seekers line we talked about a couple months ago? We were like, "Hey, where's Cannonball? Here's Cannonball. He's a deluxe."
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So, yay, Cannonball's coming. Couldn't have Star
Oh.
Seekers without him. That makes sense.
Hold on. What is the Star Seeker?
Yes, sir. So Star Seekers are like pirates. They were the BotCon
Oh, it's the
2013
BotCon pirate
theme.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause when you said Cannonball, that's the only thing I think of is the BotCon toy, which was a cool toy. You know,
I like the Cybertron one better, but hey, I'm a Cybertron guy.
So is this going to be, you think, a remold of the JP93?
No.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not.
What do you think?
One,
it's
that's too
gonna
big for a deluxe, and 2, the collabs don't fit there, and it would have to be licensed. So, as
be?
much
If
as I
you do a
would want that
remold,
to
it
be
doesn't have to be
true,
licensed.
I guess, but that's never happened.
Okay, I mean, I'm just the whole sentiment when JP93 came out was this is a pre-mold for Red Alert. And
The other
we've
Red
just seen
Alert,
that.
though, that Armada Red Alert.
And isn't that what Cannonball is based on? Oh, well, you're saying Cannonball is more based on Energon Red
Cybertron
Alert.
Red Alert.
Okay,
Correct.
Cybertron Red Alert. I'm sorry.
So I saw where you were coming from there. I would like that to be the case. It won't be the case.
Looking at this list, who are Road Pig, Lockdown, and Filch? What do we think
Road
those
Pig
are?
is a G2 laser cycle guy.
Yeah.
Lockdown, famously from Animated, and Filch is from Robots in Disguise 2015. She's
Okay,
like a bird.
But I'm not missing something. Like these weren't in the BotCon set that I forgot or something. They're just renaming for one of the existing characters that we know of yet. Then, like
They're
you know,
just figures, right?
they said Star Seeker, so I didn't know if like, oh no, they're definitely doing like the BotCon stuff or characters that were in that story.
The Star Seekers were in that set. They were also in a couple novels. Thundertron is the captain of them. He's getting a mainline release and a exclusive release. So they're just doing the pirate thing again.
Okay.
What's
The idea is
Thundertron
that they
exclusive
support
release?
Tidal Wave the Titan.
Is do we know if Lockdown's a new mold or is that
What
do we think that is?
Popular theories is that it's axle grease.
Yeah, it's hard to say until we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if people knew or like had already figured it out because again, you know, I don't pay much attention. Is
I
axle
think
grease
Filch
one of
is
those
going to be
plug-in
I think-
together thingies
yes.
like the Junkians?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think Filch is going to be a repaint of Phil's Toy of the Year. Yep. I really do.
Rise of the Beasts, Air Razor.
Yep.
Yeah, Rise of the Beast Deluxe.
Would have been
not
Kingdom
Studio
Eraser, but I
Series Air
think
Razor.
Rise of the Best would be more exciting. I think it looks more like Filch and Bomb Moon. I think. I'm not very familiar with that character.
No, nor am I. And it just sounds like some weird, obscure sex act.
Let's not. I'm going to move right past that.
Dude, I
Road
totally
Pig-
filched you last night.
Gross. Road
I
Pig
can't believe you
is.
let me filter.
I don't think they're going to use Road Rocket. They might use Crash Bar, or they might have a new mold. I don't know. Road Pig kind of needs a different thing from the other two bikes.
Or it's G.I. Joe Road Pig.
It's not.
Oh man, that would be the best. Just like the wonderful troll. Just a wonderful, wonderful troll.
I'm moving on. So, Cannonball, yay. The next one is MPM Brawl, which is great. Good that they're going to continue on with that series. He could be a big tank fella. And then a Target, there's another exclusive that Brawl obviously would be too, but it's Generation's Leader, Optimus Prime, and Autobot Bullseye. is not a thing. So I'm assuming that it's going to be some sort of Target truck looking thing, probably from the Volvo thing with some other thing that is Bullseye, which sounds fun.
They did a Hot Wheels Target truck.
Yeah.
So I could see it being, again, like you said, the Volvo, but doing the Target truck just like the Hot Wheels one was.
What if it's a Revenge of the Fallen wrecker guy? Because it was all Target themed, that red car. Leadfoot, sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember who was who, but
that's his name.
Okay.
Leadfoot was Steeljaw.
Yeah, Steeljaw could be Bullseye, because Bullseye is the name of their Target dog mascot.
Yeah. Hence Bullseye deals.
Yeah, it could be Steeljaw. I don't know that I don't know how that would be gated to the mold, but like maybe that'd be kind of cool. Or maybe it's that chainsaw Battlemaster from Rise of the Bests. It's like a wolf, could be a dog. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
one
gotten exclusive leaks or whatever from these leak lists? That were
I just told you about like 4 of them.
No. What I'm saying is prior to this, like, do they normally like on these leak lists include the retailer exclusives? I couldn't remember.
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. We've seen the Star Seekers before, like Rob found. We typically get the Amazon ones a little bit in advance.
It's not as common as the regular main lines, Lucas,
Right.
but it's not unheard of either. I hope that.
I think about 70-30 we get them.
Yeah.
Like we didn't get Galaxy Shuttle and he was just there, but we got pretty much everybody else.
Like I remember like Golden Disc being talked about before that actually came to fruition. So sometimes you just get like the line in terms of like what the line name is.
Like we knew the Wreckers line was coming last year to Amazon. We didn't know who was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I think same thing with Velocitron.
Mm-hmm. We had a couple of those, I think, but not all. We had Override and Hauler, but not the others.
Yeah.
Can they? I don't know. Do y'all find yourselves usually pretty, I don't know, satisfied by the Transformer days, the Pulse Transformer days, or whatever they call it? Or are they generally pretty let down? Or how? So Christian likes them usually.
Like
this one was kind of lame.
The live streams, you mean, or?
Yeah, whenever they're there to reveal, like I mean, they're in a hard place, right? Like, how early do they have to show stuff to wow people, especially with as often as they happen? It's not like here's everything coming for the year, right? Where you could, and then so much of it comes out through, because everything's, it's all digital, right? Listings go up way earlier than stuff is, ready to be shown.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can.
I
think it's hard for them to capture the magic,
I will say one thing. Oh, sorry, Phil.
No, I was just going to say, I like what they've been doing this year, which is what some of the other lines have been doing, which is showing the pipeline reveals. So that's something that they're kind of beating the leak list to say, like, hey, here are the figures that were coming out. We're going to show you just a generic image of the character and give you their name. Hey, we're not ready for the renders yet, but this is what we're working on. Star Wars and G.I. Joe, Hasbro's been doing that with those lines for a couple of years, and 2023 was the first time they started doing it with Transformers. And so that, I think, gives me a little bit more satisfaction out of these Transformers Tuesdays or the live streams, whatever you want to call it. I felt, again, better in 2023 about the live streams. 2022 was just like, oh, cool, you're showing me like official pictures of toys I've seen leaks for the last 2 months.
Well, one thing I do feel like, and maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like some of the like leaked reviews, like YouTube reviews, have not been like up as much as they have been in the past. Am I wrong?
Right.
No, like just recently, like the last couple months. Like I feel like some of these, at least the live stream is the first time that we've actually seen them like handling the figures, which is something like I kind of appreciate compared to just like seeing some pictures or whatever. So from that standpoint, if they can kind of keep ahead of some of those YouTube reviewers, I think I'm more excited for it. But if they can't, then it's like, okay, well, who cares? I've already seen the review.
I hope they keep this cadence up, really. I mean, if you go back in time enough on our archive, you can see me in 2021 yelling about them not doing any streams for us while all the other brands were getting them really often.
Yeah.
Like we had a couple in 2020, and then 2021 we had, I think, 2 the whole year. And I was like, this is not right. We're just relying on leak lists only at this point. And that was not okay with me. And who am I? I'm some guy on the internet, right? Like, what does my opinion matter? But I did not like it. So I'm glad
you're not just some guy. You're a white guy on the internet. So that gives you, you know.
You got some more leak lists to talk about there, please?
Now.
You're going to get me in trouble, man. I don't want to be in trouble.
Being in trouble's fun.
Not that kind of trouble.
You're not in trouble. I would be in trouble for my commentary.
You're dragging me down with you.
We drag each other down. All right, let's get it straight.
Don't pretend like it's the first time this has happened.
I know I've gotten to where I enjoy reveals. Like for me, you know, the most interesting thing of the year would probably be like the third party panel at TFcon. And I've got to where even it's usually not too much. It's like, oh, well, what thing did Fans Project announce because someone else has announced it? And they want to try to, eat into their sales because they're dicks. That's like, and then everything else I don't overly care about. Like I'm interested in it, and sometimes we see further progress on some things that have been announced. So it's, I don't know, it's hard to have like reveals anymore, I think, like until it's like single thing, when somebody's ready to show the one thing, here's the thing. And then, it's just whenever it happens, which, I enjoy it or whatever, but I feel like a lot of whether it's from Hasbro or TFcon or wherever, that it's a lot harder to have like to blow your mind with what all's coming out, just because. And I don't necessarily know it's bad, right? We just get lots of things throughout the year. But yeah,
right.
I think the benefit of the live streams is that you have not a lot, but you have a good chunk of the fandom that's participating in something at one time. And so when you get something like Magmatron being shown for the first time, and we knew Magmatron was coming because it was on the poster when they were showing Transformers University. But then when we all saw the toy for the first time, like just collectively as a fandom was just like, holy crap,
good.
This is cool. Yeah. Like that was a fun moment where the live streams, I think, were really hitting their mark.
I really enjoy the shout outs that Mark gives to all the designers because he always makes sure to give credit to whoever designed these figures. And that's not an insight that we have often gotten prior to now. I really appreciate that. It's good to know. It's good to know that they're thinking about that sort of thing. They're thinking of them as pieces of art or at least pieces of work that the designers deserve credit. And I think that's really cool.
And I enjoy like kind of the secondhand thing that you get is Mark's Instagram, where he will be oftentimes the first in hand pictures of these toys and give you notes on what went into the design. That is fun. It is nice to see some of those behind the scenes thought processes.
It's going to be sad when Mark gets punted off the brand because assuming Hasbro still does that, we only allow people to stay on for X amount of years and we rotate them. Or move them off. I don't know if they've stopped doing that process.
Dude, those Polly Pocket toys are going to be fucking amazing once he gets his hands on them.
So Mark has been around actually for quite a while,
yeah.
But he hasn't been in this position for a long time, so he may get punted off. But I found out recently while we were at TFcon that he was the chosen one. He was Archer's apprentice.
Oh,
I know. Ordained by basically God himself.
I've had text messages with Archer.
I have 2 actually. I have his number now.
Yeah,
I've not used it for evil yet.
No, he was asking me about the thing he wants to send me, which that'll be cool when that happens.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
I actually need to tag him again. actually. He told me, he's like, if you don't hear from me, he's like, nag me, And so like he did send the initial, but I'll give him a little bit. Yeah, we'll see.
I got my
Did
commission
enjoy
at TFcon. He texted me when it was ready. He was like, "Hey, it's Aaron."
Nice.
I really did enjoy a TFcon Chicago 2022. Like, he and I were both like walking back and forth in the parking lot for the loadout. And I was like, "Hey, Aaron!" I was not drunk, but I was like at that point where you're so exhausted, your brain has the same level of decision making as when you're drunk. And yeah, that just came out of my mouth. He's like, "Hey."
That's a second Key and Peele reference of the night.
It is.
There
Oh,
you go.
wow. Yeah.
Nice.
It's funny how ingrained that show has become and common that show has become, because I enjoy the show, but I didn't think it was that amazing. And a lot of sketch comedies that way, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, here's an episode that's mediocre, here's an episode that has one really funny skit, and then the rest is meh. It's when it's gold, it's gold, right?
But
And then
that's
the
where
rest
I
of the time,
feel like
just wait.
YouTube is, the perfect
great for that.
venue for that, right? Because like you just you watch all the good ones, or rewatch those, Whereas like the mediocre ones, you're like, whatever.
Well, it's because of Ron that we have Bumblebee Bay.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
What was that an advertisement for? I mean, because it was like a bunch of
Paramount
properties.
Plus. Paramount Plus was doing an ad for their streaming service, and they had Keegan
all
Michael
their
Key.
shows. That's
all
right.
their kids shows. This was all their kids cartoons. So yeah, Keegan Michael Key like doing that same substitute teacher bit, but with all of the Paramount's
I forgot about that. That was
kids
fun.
cartoons. Yeah. Bumblebee Bay.
He's my bae.
Yes.
So, well, there you go.
I think that's it. We talked about the things. We talked about the other things. We talked about that thing that might not exist.
The video game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what are you talking about? I can download it right now.
Right?
Oh, actually, I did. The download works. I just need to enter my bank account information and my social, and it's
Just
about
do
to
that.
fire up. So
Ooh, it says for my username I should put in my mother's maiden name. All right, that's weird, but I'm down for it.
That's clever, actually.
Yeah. I'll remember that. What's Anna been saying? All right.
All right. Well, thanks, Rob, for joining us for all these wonderful reveals
that I totally watched.
Yeah, and that you'll totally buy.
Totally.
Catherine wants to know if we talked about the Walmart 2-packs. Christian kind of touched on them for a second. But man, I tell you what, the level of production quality for that, where they just shrink wrapped a couple figures together, that's great.
What?
Oh, they did it back in like the Energon days, but it's or the Power Core days. They did it. It's 2 deluxes that are just shrink wrapped together.
Oh, like carded, and then they just shrink.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that from Unicron Trilogy? Like they put 2 side by side. Yeah.
So these are just deluxes. Those were bigger figures, but yeah, it's you can get like a Studio Series Non Jazz. You can get like Bumblebee RC and Ironhide, or 86 RC and Revenge of the Fallen Sideways. Just stuff from that time, and they were just like, bloop. Now they're 2 things. They're $25 a piece. So go get them.
And to Ron's point, yes, we did mention NPM Brawl. Anna's point, we briefly talked about the comic. Of issue number 2. Yeah. Christian said he hasn't read it yet. Rob, have you read it?
Orson sent me a copy of Void Rivals, the first issue, and I read that. And that's been it.
Lucas, are you up to date with the comic?
Yeah. So I read it relatively quickly today, and because I wasn't sure if we're going to touch on it on the show. So, I'm enjoying it. It's definitely different than the IDW stuff. Leans pretty heavily in the G1, but I think it's been pretty good.
You mean different than the most recent or the last IDW stuff?
Yeah.
If it's heavy G1, does it give you a vibe of like All Hell Megatron then? Because that was All Hell Megatron was very much like it's G1 now, and we'll
Yeah.
figure out what to do later.
It's a
G1,
little
but
different.
Megatron wins. Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't loved the art that I've seen come out of it, but granted, people are only posting art that they don't like, right? Like they're
Right.
posting it to bitch about it. So like I'm not gonna really see people saying, "Oh, this looks so great" or whatever. I saw some covers that I thought looked laughably bad. I mean, better than I can do. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
I thought they looked really terrible.
The covers are something I wouldn't judge the book by, which, okay, yeah, no pun intended with the cliche.
That's a
It is.
saying.
What I'll say, though, why I mean that more specifically is that I know the covers you're talking about, Rob, and they're not done by the same artist who's doing the interior of the book and is writing the book. So Daniel Warren Johnson, yes, he's done several covers, but like a lot of image books these days, there are 24 covers. So you have a lot of other folks who are drawing them. I'm a big fan of Daniel Warren Johnson. I liked his artwork for a number of years, and then once I found out he was coming on Transformers, I finally pushed myself to read some of his stuff. And Do War Powerbomb is a phenomenal book. His Better Ray Bill book that he wrote for Marvel is outstanding. I'm really enjoying the Transformers book so far. I get that his art style isn't for everyone. It's a little. He's trying to sometimes be organic and squarish at the same time, and that can be kind of weird. But he's talked about how hard it is to draw these rectangular shapes that the toys were and that the animation models were, and have them move the way we want them to move. It just doesn't work. So you have to fudge a lot of things.
I disagree hardcore because we've had 40 years of artists figuring that out. You're not rediscovering uranium here.
No. But
it's been done a bunch.
But if you read some of his interviews and listen to some of his interviews, he's definitely familiar with those guys. So he has paid attention, and he's just kind of doing it with what works best with his art style and his way of kind of conveying the emotion in the story. This is sort of a tangent, but there's a debate amongst Spider-Man fans of should Spider-Man's eyes get larger or smaller with him trying to convey emotion. And some Spider-Man fans are like, no, it's a mask. It's not going to move around. And other Spider-Man fans are like, well, okay, I get it. You're going to fudge these details to convey the emotion on Spider-Man's face. And he does that with Optimus Prime's eyes in this issue quite a bit. So it just, I don't know. It's to me, it's a really fresh set of eyes on what you have with, well, not just the eyes, but just the G1 storyline with sort of a modern interpretation of it, with just looking at it from, again, coming back to the idea of a fresh set of eyes. So this is a guy who is admitted that being a big fan of the Transformers property as a kid, but not paying attention to a lot of the current stuff that's come out. And I think it's fun. This is a book that's more designed for a mainstream audience, but
is it riddled with human subplots?
I mean, there's this human subplot in it, but I wouldn't say that it detracts from the story.
I think back to the start of IDW when it was the Furman stuff, and it was, it was very much a slow roll to get the robots in there, which didn't bother me. It bothered me some back then, but not as much as it would today because, we didn't have anything for a long time. And then we had Dreamwave that kind of petered out relatively quickly. And, it felt like they were starting something new and big and ongoing. And at this point, it's like you just rebooted it again after rebooting it. And after that, the main IDW series had 4 soft reboots within it, so it's like I'm done with the, what's this car gonna do? I want, I'm over it, man. Let's give me some robots. But
I don't know. I feel like the humans kind of help tell the story rather than getting in the way. If that makes sense a little bit. It's just kind of a let's explain to you, human, about our 200-year war that we've been having.
That, and you get the idea of okay, these are aliens on a new planet. They don't know what the heck this planet is like. Where you watch the G1 cartoon and it's like, oh, we're on Earth. Cool. All right. We're just going to walk around and know everything that's going on. And like here, it's very much of like, no, Cybertron was this metal planet that was not as fragile as Earth is. And so therefore Optimus Prime is just like, very much taken aback. And so you get those moments of the two human characters kind of interacting with Optimus and some other Transformers as to what this new world they're on is really like. And then you get the two different human reactions as to seeing these gigantic metal aliens and what to feel about that.
I could live without it.
I feel like, as fair. Catherine said, Prime 1, Bambi 0.
I feel like that's a spoiler.
It's like the second page of the issue, so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like,
did you ever see Godzilla versus Bambi?
No, it sounds like a very short movie.
It literally is. It's like a 2-minute animated movie. I'll send you the link. But yeah.
And some of Christian's favorite characters are in the.
There's some Joes.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's even a preview at the end of a G.I. Joe cartoon or comic book. I mean,
comic book, yeah, because Duke is a month out from the first issue.
So, got that to look forward to, Christian.
Yeah.
No.
I will say too, this is not IDW Starscream where it's like, he's a well-rounded character with some ambiguity as to his, perchance for evil or good. And it's like, nope, this Starscream is a cold-blooded son of a bitch. And so far, most of the Decepticons that you've met fall in line with that sort of, very selfish, self-centered attitude.
Sounds like 80s cartoon writing.
It is.
I mean, for better or worse, right? Like, I really enjoyed how IDW was littered. The first one was really littered with nuance. I thought everybody was really well-rounded and fleshed out. Like, people weren't 80s cartoon villain. It's like, haha, evil, go to do evil. Like, I mean, there was a time and place for that in the world, and there still is. Sometimes that's still great, just to have clear-cut, he's dag nasty evil to be evil, the end, right? Let's roll with it. It's harder for me to get into like long running fiction that tries to do that though. Like, I end up losing interest, but I mean, the truth is I haven't read the comic and I probably won't. Like one day, maybe a trade will come out and I'll check it out or something, but
I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where it's pretty obvious that the Transformers are the most powerful things like on the planet now, right? And that the Decepticons are like, we're going to use this power to take what we want and get the Energon that we want and whatever, right? Whereas like the Autobots are like, oh crap, like we disrupted like this other planet, like we need to help these guys.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I mean, I think it's been interesting. Like I have, I'm sure like once we kind of get past some of the exposition and background or whatever that they had, like it'll be interesting to see what story they tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I'm biased. I will wholeheartedly admit that I'm biased. Daniel Warren Johnson is one of my top creators right now. I've thoroughly enjoyed a lot of his work.
I guess I'm to the point, like, when Spider-Man joined the Marvel Universe, it was just, they skipped the backstory, right? Because we've heard it so many times recently. And I think I'm that way. It's like, just jump into the middle. I don't need exposition. We're on Cybertron. They landed on Earth. You can fill me in as we go along, right? But jumping into the middle of it, I don't need to follow humans around to explain it all from their lens. I get it. But that's me. A lot of people don't like that.
I got yelled at a lot several weeks ago when I made this comparison. And you know what? F it, I'll make it again. To me, this is very similar to what Ultimate Spider-Man was, where Originally, when Spider-Man came out, you had one issue that told his origin. When Ultimate Spider-Man came out, they did it in 6 issues. This is the first episode, or maybe like second episode of the Transformers comic. Sorry, the Transformers cartoon, where they've landed on Earth and become acclimated to Earth. And so far, we've had 2 issues covering that. So again, it's just sort of adding more detail to what that story is, as well as telling it from a somewhat different perspective. Like Megatron's not around. Certain Autobots are not around.
Did Megatron go off to get cigarettes and just never came home?
I don't know. Starscream's very bitter about it, and there was a leak of a cover today where you see Megatron's arm cannon. Not a leak, but like a solicit, and it's like, oh, possible Transformers Megatron spoilers. It's like, it's his canon. It's like, wow.
Or is it a spoon?
It's whatever you want it to be. What does your heart tell you?
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. And thanks to everyone in the chat. Don't forget to join in for book club Sunday at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern on the TF Talk Discord. For Rubble's continued exploration of the New World in the wake of a murder in Transformers 3 and 4. So they're going over the IDW whatever Phase 3 comics. So, but
Not woo.
there you go. So, all right.
Oh.
Well, thanks guys, and we'll see everyone next week.
Bye-bye.